Just about done blooming. I figured sunflowers produces for about 10 days. Not very long at all. All done. But I'm still getting flow off this field. There's some late bloomers. I think I have yards that are flying 2 miles to get to this field. Just finishing them up. They're bringing back big wads of pollen. And the nests are wet. I'm getting a bit of flow, so just finishing off. Not quite done. Look at these heads. Wow. Done like dinner. Just a bit left there. These are to bloom. These are blooming. These have finished blooming. So you can see where the bees are focusing on. It's where the flowers are blooming, the florets. The florets are blooming. That's where they're hanging out. This is yet to bloom. That's potential yield, which I'm going to provide my brother. As we capitalize on our bees. Yeah, there's still flowers here and there. Those can maybe provide a little bit more. But the majority of them are done. And I'll just give them a few more days on it, and that's it. This is the last of it. Oh, that's video. Empty boxes, which I was going to take out, put back in the colonies, but I think I'm going to hold them back, put them straight into storage. This time of year, I'm never sure whether or not I'm pulling the trigger on stripping boxes too soon. But every year I say to myself, well, I should have just pulled the boxes. Here's a semi-load of honey to be extracted. Moving my empty boxes out in that trailer, moving my full barrels out in that trailer. Like my mother says, everything has a place, everything in its place. Wax cooling down. Wax work was done this morning. Equipment all washed up, the floor is clean, the room has order, ready for tomorrow. And the place looks well kept, including the outside. Pallets all stacked up neat. The truck's not clean, but, you know, well maintained and running. Everything else, you know, all this clutter, at least it's organized, ready to go.
First of all, Mike, how are you? How are you doing? Thanks for joining me.
So,
Very well.
what am I getting at? So I'm going to show you something. I'm pretty much on top of my game. Yeah, I just showed you my honey house. I'm showing you my yard. Everything is put together. Everything is maintained. Everything is within a process, a program. Maybe just a touch of OCD here and there, but things are, I would say, well managed. And even with beekeepers like myself, who like to say that I've got things figured out, I don't. Straight as an arrow. As is my yard. Maybe not the way honeybees like it, but the way this beekeeper likes it. My yard is nicely trimmed. Almost like a golf course, not quite. Needs a bit more rain. My boxes are something to be considered, but working to improve them. So all this said, I want to bring to the point on being honest with ourselves. It's not all about basking in the glory. I mean, there's some of that and we have to do that. It's about managing the problems throughout the year and just trying to eliminate the issues which cost you money. Right? We're dealing with nature here. So we have all these compounding situations, all these compounding issues coming down on us like this, and just trying to strip away everything that we have going here. These bees are battling for their survival, and we're managing these bees in certain ways that's not normal in a way, so it puts pressures on these colonies, what they're typically not used to. But it works because we are here to help manage some of those issues. So as the flow ends, like I'm still seeing pollen coming in, and there's no attention to the equipment on the truck. So we still have flow. We're not in the robbing season yet, but we're through first poll now. So all the heavy bulk of the honey's off, and the long weekend. So this presents me with the opportunity to go around and assess the situation of my apiary and relieve any issues that's crept up. All right. And now is the time to do it, because as we get into the robbing season, these bees are going to start picking on the small ones, the failing units. And we have to make for damn sure we know why these units that have failed, and there always is, we have to go down and take a look to see what's going on. And now is the time when we really have to go and either fix them or call them. We've gone through probably 75% of the yards now, and there's likely 2 or 3 within the yards that need fixing. Every once in a while I come across a major issue. Here's one of the colonies I worked through. Not a lot of bees in here, has failed, missed for whatever reason. And as I'm doing my colony assessment, about to call them out, I realize an issue that has to be paid attention to. You look at that brood frame and yeesh, something's going on, so you dig a little bit deeper. European foul brood. That colony that I just pulled out there has a lingering infection, and they are dying. They're not dead yet, but they practically are dead. Once it dies, and once the robbing pressure starts up within the yard, just the natural instinct of the colonies within the surrounding area start to hone in on the resource that is left within this unit undefended, and they'll strip the honey from them, bring it back to their nest, and with it, possibly bringing back some of that bacterial disease to the surrounding colonies. That is the main motivation why I put attention towards going through the apiary before the robbing season starts, to focus on the small ones, to figure out what's going on. And if I find a situation like this, then I can pull them out before it becomes a problem throughout the entire apiary, including my neighbors, right? It's all part of responsible management of our operations. I'm not finding a lot of it. I mean, I found this one and I found another one in another yard. Like, where the hell has it come from? When's the last time I've seen European foulbrood? It's been probably 18 years since I've ever, like, I brought American foulbrood into my operation a long time ago, buying colonies in from another beekeeper. Learned a very valuable lesson there. Cleaned that up, everything was burnt. European foulbrood, maybe I've seen it 8 years ago or something like that. Very, very mild. This year it just seems to be one problem after the next. I mean, I'm telling you. This is why we can't let our guard down. You just gotta follow through procedure. And even though I was basking in the glory of the flow that's coming in, I gotta make sure that I redirect my attention down to the bare bones basics of beekeeping management to make sure I can hold things together, get these bees into winter in good shape, and then follow through into next. What am I going to do with this colony? I'm going to take all the frames, shake them out, I'm going to burn them. I'm then going, there's enough bees within this colony, I'm going to boost them with 2 frames of brood. I'm going to drop a queen cell in there, close the entrance up a little bit, and see if I can get them going again with a treatment. They'll be flagged, so I'll be watching them, and I'll get them going again. European foulbrood, we can fix that. We have tools that allow us to be able to fix it. So as long as we take the problem seriously and take the infected equipment and burn it, we can revitalize that colony with the tools we have available. And I'm going to use them, and I'm going to bring that colony back. I'm going to put them into winter, and they're going to make me money next year. So I just got to keep my wits about me and be honest with myself as I'm doing these assessments, not to pretend I'm this fantastic, brilliant beekeeper. He has everything under control, with all his hives in line and his fence lines straight and all my pallets stacked up beside the honey house and the floors clean, the extractors covered with plastic, and all that kind of stuff is very easy to manage. It's being honest with ourselves, identifying real issues like this that can completely and utterly destroy the operation at this very core. August 9th, and we are done. Bees found the honey house yesterday, so we are practicing with different rules. Look at this canola crop. Spectacular. This is a nuke yard. These are Italians. Pretty much what you see is what's in here. We have good ones and then we have a few bad ones, but for the most part, I'd say they set themselves up pretty nice. Didn't get as much off the later hives as I was anticipating. I wasn't expecting such, so right to the top there. I was expecting to get maybe a second pull on them. Can you put this down? I just want to see what's up here. Yep. Ouch. These are a little bit testy today. Yeah, so just working into the fifth. So they're giving me a bit of honey. They're not just box fillers this year. They've used up some brood comb. They've kept some honey boxes going, and they should be able to make me some viable units next year. Served their purpose. So as you can see, we are on patties. Yesterday was our first day stripping boxes. Well, not stripping, we're setting boards to be stripped. And they're getting 2 pounds right off the mark. I hit them pretty aggressively right off the start here because they are still brooding, and we have a countryside that is parched. No flowers. All the fields are practically done, just the sunflowers cleaning up a little bit here and there. and just the odd flower and clover in the ditch. And I'm using all that, you know, just all the scrap, I guess you would say, pulling around in the corners and the ditches to mix with the protein I'm putting on these colonies to push that nest out as far out as I can. Without pollen, they're not going to make any brood. So I'm providing them the protein, and hopefully they mix it with the pollen that comes in to keep this nest going. So we're medicating them next week. We will be medicating for mites. We're medicating them for bacterial disease. And we're going to be putting syrup on them probably this weekend. Our fall work has started.